What's going on, guys? My name is Death Corps and welcome to Black Ops 6, The Good, The Bad and The Ugly. Overall, I think the beta was pretty good, and it would seem the community thinks the same, but it's definitely not perfect. In this video, I'm going to explain more in depth what I think about the game and what can be improved upon. Everything I say in this video is my own opinion. This video is going to be split into three sections. The good, which is aspects that work well within the game and make the game more enjoyable. The bad, which are things that don't work so well or need urgent attention before the game's release. And the ugly, which are things that aren't game breaking, but I would personally like changing, or just things that could be a skill issue. So let's start things off with the good. Omni Movement is a really fun addition. Treyarch have found a way to make the game feel new and refreshing for older fans, while not too hard to get used to for newer players. It'll be a fun mechanic to learn, but hard to master, which will affect the skill gap in a good way. Sliding whilst aiming feels fluid. I've only had a few times where I've accidentally slid off the map. Diving around corners feels really cool, but again, I've accidentally dived off the map multiple times while trying to go prone. Okay. But that's just a skill issue. Having the ability to check behind me while prone is extremely useful, especially on the hard point if the enemy team have spawned behind us, or on domination when trying to capture the B flag. Feels much more flexible than in older games, and I've personally found it really hard going back to Cold War. Being able to pull out a knife without having it as a secondary makes it easier to move around the map and get out of sticky situations. I've found myself using the knife way more now it's a part of my loadout, plus the spooky fish knife is very cool. The Vault Edition skins look great. Personally, I can't wait to see what other skins Treyarch cook up over the next year. I'm sure you've already seen the viral clips of people using the meat shield mechanic. I think it was a great addition to the game. I found myself using it way more than executions, as I don't get locked into an animation in a vulnerable position. I'm sure it'll make for more funny content in the future. The introduction of the custom HUD allows players to experiment with what they're comfortable with and see what suits them better, such as being able to revert back to the square map rather than using the circular map, or positioning the ammo counter close to the centre of the screen. I forgot about this mechanic in the first weekend, which is why some of my clips have a circular map, but personally, I love the freedom of choice with the new HUD. The graphics look great in the beta. I had my settings on mid to high, and I was still getting 100 FPS plus. I had a few weird texture glitches, where parts of the map were black, but as a whole, it didn't really affect the overall experience of the beta. The winner's circle is a controversial topic. For someone like myself who racks up a lot of time on the objective, even if I don't do amazing in the kill department, it's nice to be recognised for contributing to my team's win. Even the emotes can be fun to use sometimes, but it's not always sunshine and rainbows. This brings me to the bad. Not being able to skip the winner's circle when you're not in it infuriates me. If I've had a game, I understand, but I don't want to look at these smug little
Take that shush, man. Take it. Take my fucking shush. Shh. Shh. Shh.
Sorry about that. Packet burst was quite a big issue for me in the beta. Alongside the multiple crashes and dev errors I experienced, I'm hoping this will be fixed in the full game, as I don't want to have to go through COD HQ every half hour just to play the fucking game. Oh, my game crashed. Fuck's sake. Why do I bother? Another bug that needs to be fixed is the gunfighter glitch. I've seen others talk briefly about this, but I believe this is an issue that needs addressing. For those who aren't aware, whenever you would replace an attachment, it would automatically equip Gunfighter, removing your other wildcard. I'd rather have some sort of prompt asking me if I want to equip it, rather than doing it for me, similar to how it was in Cold War. The maps so far aren't great, but they're definitely not the worst we've seen. Personally, I think Derelict was one of the better maps, but in no way was it perfect. I just had a better time on it than other maps such as Rewind and Babylon, which felt either too big or too small. I only played a couple games on the face-off maps, so I can't really form an opinion on them. I find Babylon spawns similar to Shipment, but potentially worse in objective-based modes. I've seen firsthand the power of holding two flags, watching people spawn in front of my very own eyes. It's fun to watch, but not so fun to experience. And now for the ugly, also known as my skill issues. The time to kill feels pretty good, but it often feels like I'm dying faster than they are, which could just be a connection issue. In the first weekend, it felt like if you weren't using the Jackal, then you were at a disadvantage. I was blaming the Jackal for my deaths more often than not. However, When it was debuffed, I noticed I was still getting out TTK'd by every other weapon, even when they were using the same weapon as me. I felt that my shots were hit marking much more than theirs, even though I thought my aim was fine. Which leads me nicely onto my next point. The lower headshot multiplier makes the game feel strange compared to older games. Throughout the years, we've learnt to aim higher in order to win multiple gunfights, but now it seems more inconsistent to what it used to be. Personally, I've never seen a headshot hit marker with a sniper until this point, and it happened to me twice within the span of a week. I don't care what perks you've got on, you do not survive a sniper round to the head. I know it's a hard thing to balance, and the attachment feels okay, but I prefer it to have more of a noticeable effect, especially if I'm training it for range or velocity. In my opinion, the shotgun felt way too weak in the beta. Treyarch could have done this so people who are less experienced could have a chance against the movement gods with OP shotguns. I personally hope they will swap the plastic, non-lethal rounds with 12 gauge in the full game. Somehow other players have better attachments than me, even though my shotgun was max level. Maybe the 12 gauge with an ammo type that only little Timmy, whose dad works for Activision, could unlock. Another thing that feels a bit weak is the gun butt melee. I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but the melee feels slower than in past games.
Like, what the f? Why is the melee so f? How hard is it to throw a right hook? You're a trained military operator. How f***ing hard is it? Oh my f***ing Christ.
It's probably just a skill issue. Maybe I just need glasses, but I'm confusing people laid on the floor with corpses. I expected there to be a flashlight attachment, which would help me with visibility. However, I couldn't find one. A slight outline around the enemies, or being able to see the red dot from further away would be preferable, but if not, I'll suffer being blind. I've seen clips of people using third-person emotes to peek corners, which could be a future issue, but at the end of the day it's just another thing they can put in the battle pass. I wouldn't be opposed to having first-person emotes, as it's annoying when I accidentally press an emote instead of an inspect and I get locked into an animation. Please just add a dedicated inspect button. Please. The maps in Cold War seemed really 80s to me, but the maps so far in Black Ops 6 don't really have that 90s theme. Rewind is pretty close to what I'm after, so I have hope that the launch maps will be more fitting for the era. I've also heard rumours that Sledgehammer might be helping with the maps, so this could maybe be why, but I'm probably pulling at strings here. I always loved how arcadey Treyarch games felt. Cold War was like a breath of fresh air for me after the Sweatfest of Modern Warfare 2019. But now Black Ops 6 is on the same engine as Modern Warfare 3, it feels like Treyarch have lost their signature game style. After the integration of Cold War into Warzone, the devs struggled to combine the game's weapons while also keeping the community happy with the weapon tuning and keeping it bug free. This might have led to their decision to keep Black Ops 6 on the same engine as past games, which makes me think that they are more focused on the free-to-play aspect rather than the paid multiplayer experience. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed my fair share of Warzone. It would just be more preferable if they focused on a game in which people are paying £70 plus just to play. But all in all, I'm the one still buying these games, so my opinions are relevant. This brings me to the end of my beta review. Like I said at the start, I had a blast playing this game, and could only wish for October to come sooner. Thanks for watching. Feel free to stick around for the outcome of this game, let me know what you thought about the beta in the comments, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Take care everyone.
No? Okay then. Motherfucker, they come.
Oh, they caught on. Oh. It's so funny just not to understand. They just don't understand. They just can't do it. They can't comprehend.
Absolutely not.
Go on, girlfriend. Drive that car. Yeah.
I got it, Elias.
Low key, pretty good game.
Absolutely. The hell is
58 and 17.